Imagine a power so immense, so unfathomable, that it doesn't need to shatter worlds or spill blood to make you tremble. What if true dominance wasn't in the roar of a fleet or the ruin of a city, but in a whisper, a silent, invisible act that burrows into your mind and never lets go? I've seen such a power, wielded by a species that turns fear into an art form. My name is Clivar, a chronicler of the stars, and I've witnessed something that still haunts my dreams. Let me take you to that moment, to a place where the impossible became real, and the humans showed me what true terror looks like. As a scribe for the Interstellar Concord, I've traveled across systems, documenting the ways species assert their might. Most are predictable in their boldness. The Dravix send unopposed armadas to obliterate asteroids as a warning, their ships gleaming like predators in the void. The Silthar orchestrate assassinations so precise they seem like accidents, leaving entire councils paralyzed with dread. And the Vornex manipulate markets, crashing economies overnight to remind others of their invisible grip. These are displays of raw strength, each screaming, "Look what we can do," and you're powerless to stop us. They're effective, devastating, and leave scars that last generations. But if those are a mere fraction of power, I shudder to imagine the full extent. And then, there are the humans. They don't just play the game, they rewrite the rules. I first understood their approach during a quiet moment aboard a human vessel, the Silent Crescent. I was sharing a drink of bitter Terran coffee with Commander Alira Voss, a woman whose sharp eyes seemed to see through every facade. We were discussing interstellar politics when I asked why humans rarely flex their military might like others. She leaned back, a sly grin curling her lips, and said, "Clivar, power isn't in the explosion, it's in the shadow it casts. Think of it like the ultimate jest. You know we did it, you know why we did it. It gnaws at you day and night, but you've got no proof, no trace to point to. That's real control, showing we can strike anywhere, anytime, with restraint and precision, and leave you questioning your own sanity." Her words lingered like a chill in the air. Subtlety, she explained, was their weapon of choice, a blade so fine it cut without being seen. I soon learned that humans had turned this philosophy into a series of chilling pranks, each a masterpiece of psychological warfare. There was the tale of a notorious Crinvian traitor, a brute named Gorvax, who opened his fortified vault one morning to find tiny green figurines, human toy soldiers arranged in a mock battle across his prom. Treasure. Every detail was perfect, down to a miniature flag bearing his insignia, planted in defeat. He knew it was the humans it had to be, as they were set to negotiate trade routes that very day. Yet, no cameras caught a thing, no locks were broken. Gorvax raged for weeks, unable to sleep, seeing those plastic eyes in every shadow. Then there were the pirates of the Zeltor Expanse, who boarded a crippled freighter expecting easy plunder, only to find it crewed by lifeless mannequins. Each dummy bore the name of a pirate on their crew, posed at their station's helmsman, gunner, captain, mirroring their own ship. The pirates fled, whispering of curses, their bravado shattered without a single shot fired. Another incident, whispered in hushed tones, involved a defiant Ranchik warlord, Prince Tyker. His palace flag, a symbol of his lineage's pride, vanished overnight. No guards saw a thing, no alarm sounded, yet the flagpole stood bare at dawn. Only a handful of witnesses swore they saw human silhouettes in the moonlight, but who would believe such a tale? Those who heard it dismissed Tyker as unhinged, his credibility crumbling as he ranted about unseen thieves. And then, there was the incident I heard of later, a human envoy visiting a hostile system left behind a single, ancient Terran coin in the warlord's private chamber, placed precisely where he'd find it upon waking grass. No message, no threat, just a coin. The warlord cancelled his planned aggression within hours, pale and trembling. These acts weren't just pranks, they were declarations of omnipotence, leaving no physical scars but carving deep into the psyche. Yet, for all these stories, nothing prepared me for witnessing a human show of force firsthand. It happened in the shadow of the Angloran homeworld, a planet of crimson seas and jagged spires, orbiting a luminous moon they revered as a deity. I was aboard the Silent Crescent again, part of a cloaked human fleet hovering 1,000,000 kilometers from their world. Simply revealing ourselves would have broken lesser species. Hundreds of warships materializing from nowhere is a universal language of dread. But the Angloran were different. Their oligarchs had stoked a fire of expansionist zeal, their people chanting of ancient conquests and a destiny to claim the stars. Their sacred moon, glowing like a beacon in their western sky, was their symbol of progress, their guide to glory. They called on their ancestors' spirit, vowing to march west toward human space and beyond, starting their campaign that very night. From our vantage, I could see the Orion arms, bright lights shimmering, a taunt to their ambition. Commander Voss stood beside me on the observation deck, her gaze fixed on the planet below. We spoke softly, she murmured, her voice low and deliberate. Now we show off our big stick. I didn't understand at first. I stared at the Angloran world through the viewport, its surface a mosaic of sprawling cities and crimson oceans, the moon a radiant pearl above. It looked unchanged, unremarkable. Minutes ticked by 10, 20, 30 and I felt a fool for expecting something grand. Then, an hour into my vigil, a tremor of realization hit me. My eyes darted to the moon again, tracing its path. It was wrong. Impossible. The moon, it was moving backward. For one full orbit, the humans had reversed the sacred moon of Angloran. I couldn't fathom the technology, the audacity, to alter a celestial body's course so seamlessly. From our cloaked perch, we watched the chaos unfold below. Through intercepted transmissions, I heard the panic priests wailing in temples that the deity had forsaken them, citizens flooding the streets in hysteria, their cries a cacophony of despair. "The moon betrays us!" one voice screamed. A high priest, his tone breaking with terror. "Our ancestors turn away!" Another sobbed, a mother clutching her young. Leaders scrambled in their war rooms, scientists babbling about gravitational anomalies, unable to explain what their instruments refused to confirm. The unending symbol of their progress, their divine guide, was unraveling their history before their eyes. Tides surged erratically, flooding coastal shrines, as if the planet itself wept. I stood frozen, my own mind reeling. How could such a thing be done? How could a moonagod to these people be toyed with like a child's bauble? Then, as silently as it began, the moon's orbit corrected itself. It resumed its ancient path, glowing as if nothing had occurred. The tides settled, the crimson seas calmed, and the crowds below dispersed, shell-shocked and silent. I thought that was the end, a statement so profound it needed no epilogue. But humans, as I've learned, never leave a lesson half-taught. A single transmission crackled from the silent crescent to Angloran High Command, Commander Voss's voice cold as the void itself. "Settle down, or next time it's gone." 5 words, yet they carried the weight of a supernova. I could only imagine the oligarchs' faces, their warmongering dreams crumbling under the threat of losing their sacred moon forever. In the quiet that followed, I lingered on the observation deck, staring at the new still moon. The Angloran campaign never launched. Their fervor turned to fear, their leaders silenced by an enemy they couldn't see or fight. I felt a strange mix of awe and unease. Humans hadn't fired a weapon, hadn't destroyed a single structure, yet they'd broken a world's spirit with a gesture so subtle it defied comprehension. Commander Voss's words echoed in my mind. Power is in the shadow, not the strike. I'd seen brute force before, fleets and ruin, but this was something else. A reminder that true dominance doesn't need to be loud to be deafening. As I record this tale, I can't help but wonder what other feats humans hide in their arsenal. What other impossible acts linger in the shadows of the stars, waiting to unravel minds and rewrite destinies? I've seen their art of fear, and I know I'll never look at the night sky the same way again. If you're listening, beware the quiet ones. For in their silence, they wield a power that can move moons and shatter souls. Stick around, for I have more stories of the void, each stranger than the last, waiting to be told. If this tale of unseen power and celestial mischief sent shivers down your spine, don't keep it to yourself. Like this story to show your appreciation. Drop a comment with your thoughts. Have you ever witnessed something so subtly terrifying? Share this with your friends to spread the word of humanity's eerie artistry, and subscribe for more gripping stories from the stars. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new tale from the void. Let's unravel the mysteries of the cosmos together.